Hello and welcome to Live in the Studio with Pentart. I am your host today. I'm Shannon and I'm so happy you are here. If you're catching on the replay, make sure you put in the comments #replay. We are going to be talking about the Pentart Antique Glossy Varnish. It's an amber color. It's beautiful. This is what it looks like. It's solvent, it's glossy, it's varnish, and it'll give your project a beautiful amber hue. Let me put the comments up. We'll see if those work. All right, so today's going to be a pretty quick one because there's not that much to talk about with the antique varnish that we didn't really already cover last week with the clear varnish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce to you today a new resource. It might be new to some of you. It might not be new to others, but you're going to use it. You're going to enjoy it. But keep in mind, it's still a work in project. It's still a work in progress. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn down my camera and we are going to look at the varnish. I have a couple examples that are already done to compare with the clear varnish in the gloss and matte versus the antique one. And then I'm going to apply the antique one over one that I've already put the clear on. I just want to show what it's going to look like. And then of course I'm going to demo it on something. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and turn down the camera and let's see, do I have it zoomed in enough? Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So let's start with these two. And I'm going to actually zoom in a bit more. Let's see. There we go. So these are the projects that we've been working on the last couple weeks. This one I had already finished, but what I did was I demoed how to put the clear varnish, the gloss one. We put it right over the foils. It seals the foils and it keeps them nice and shiny. And then we also put some down here. Now on the inside here, we put the clear varnish, the one in matte. There's a little metal ball in there that you use. You shake it up and that's what gets it all mixed up. So when you use it, you don't need to stick a stir in there. You just stick it because it has that metal ball in there. Because the clear varnish, even though they both say clear, one is really clear, that's the gloss, and then the one that is matte has the white. It goes on white, but it dries clear. And that's what we did over here. So we did that in the middle and then that on the rest. This is just a recap. Then this week, I believe the reel came out yesterday. And then one came out on Tuesday where I actually just brushed it on one coat here. And it was pretty, but it didn't give me the look that I was going for. So what I decided was I was going to go ahead and I poured it in. And it gave a nice, look at that, clear coating, but it is slightly amber compared to these two. Even though it's not the same paper. Let me pull this up because you can see the glare of my light. So this was matte clear, this was gloss clear, and then this was the antique glossy. So it gives a nice antique hue. Okay. Now, if you're with me and you want to know what that surprise is at the end, the one that's going to help you with all the Pentart, put in the comments, put I'm ready. There we go. That way I'll know that you guys are out there listening to me and you want to know what awesome resource I have for you. Let's see. Can I put my little face up here? Not that we need to see it, but there you go. There I am. Okay. Hi. Hey, Tina. Welcome. So I do know that there is somebody here with me. Yay. I do know that most people catch us on the replay, but that's okay. All right, let's go in here. So let me tell you what I did here. So on this little heart, this was a heart that I showed you how to use a cracking paint. This is the white cracking paint, not the paste, not a crackle. It's just the cracking paint. That was fun. If you didn't catch that video, you can go over to YouTube, and I know it'll always be there. YouTube keeps the videos. Facebook throws them in the trash for some reason. I don't know. So anyway, and then what I did was this morning I put on a paint inlay. If any of you know what a IOD paint inlay is, you know that is very particular, and you have to be very, very careful what you seal it with. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to seal a paint inlay. And we did do this last week with the clear varnish. We're going to do it with the glossy varnish because it even says right on it. Let me get the camera without the angle. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Can you see that better? Solvent based. It tells you right on there that it's solvent based. And if it's solvent based with a paint inlay, watch. You can literally brush it on and it will not smear. Some people always try to brush on a water-based one. Well, that's not going to work. That'll smear. That'll gum it up. If you haven't seen the video on Fine Line Crackle, make sure you watch it. So anyway, it does have a tinge of a harsh smell. So generally I have my fan on. I forgot to turn it on. I might reach down and turn it on. I put a little bit of the antique umber paste around the outside just to give it that tinge of antique look because I knew I was going to be using the amber. So you can see it changed the white paint just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of drama for an antique look. You don't always want to use an antique look because look here on this one, I didn't want it to look antique. There's nothing antique on this, so I left it with the clear varnish. This one though, I put the antique paste around and some umbra. You can see the brown. I wanted this one to be vintage or antique, so that's why I use the amber in this one. So use it to whatever you think you're going to do, whatever your project's going to be. Now I do want to show you the cleanup for this brush is going to be the exact same thing. Hey Brianna, that is with the clearer. You got to use something that cleans solvent products. And Pentart has this awesome little cleaner. So it comes in a little jar. This is a brand new one. I haven't delved into this one yet because look, this is this is what mine look like. I have two of them and I keep them at two different workstations here, but look, and they still work great. So definitely worth every penny. All you have to do, open it. Yes, there is a little bit of a stench, but not to worry. You're going to stick it in. Boop, boop. Oh. Sometimes I make a little mess. And hey, Lisa. And sometimes I don't. So then once you swish it around, just kind of drag and get the excess off. Then all you need to do is wipe it with a clean rag. And look, it's super clean and the bristles are super soft and it's ready for your next project. Highly recommend this, even though yes, there's a warning because it's very stinky, but that's quicker than walking over to the sink, using soap and water and trying to clean it when that's not going to clean it. Look at that, how soft that brush is. All right. Now the last thing we're going to do with the glossy varnish today is, last week we did this. This has some Fine Line Crackle. Let me see if I can get it in a good light where you can see that. Oh, there we go. See the fine line right there? I put sparkling silver in there. And with the fine line, you know that you need to seal it, and it's got to be with solvent base. A lot of people, especially newbies, try to seal it. They use a water-based varnish. It doesn't work. You have to use a solvent base. The trick is, don't seal your fine line till it has cured. Doesn't mean dry. I mean cured. It needs at least minimally 24 hours. And I think a lot of people that, I keep hearing people, well, mine lifted, mine's cracked, mine came off, my fine line didn't work. Well, there's certain steps that you have to follow, and then you'll have a complete success. So don't seal your Fine Line Crackle until it cures 24 hours. Okay, enough about that. I just love Fine Line Crackle, and I get sad when I hear people that did not have success and they ruin the project. Anyway, I decided that I wanted this to be a little bit more antique-y. So what I'm going to do is I can pour, because it's solvent on top of solvent, I can pour this right on top. Watch what I'm going to do here. and it's going to change the look. It's going to make it slightly more antique. So you can see right there, see the different color variation already? And it's not a lot, it's just subtle enough. I don't want to pour too much because that'll take forever to dry. I just want to pour enough where I can just kind of manipulate it to go to the edges. I'm going to run it down. And if I can tell that there's not enough, I can go ahead and pour a little bit more wet, still wet. But you want to make sure there's no holes. Then if for some reason you think, you know, whoops, I'm just going to take my brush, kind of smooth it around the edges. Because you don't want to have a place where it didn't get to. I'm just running it around the whole entire edge. There we go. Now look at this. Total different look. It has that slight amber tinge that just gives a little bit of age. Now, pro tip, make sure you set this on a flat, even surface, because if you don't, speaking from experience, it'll pool up and then it'll be leaning and you'll have an uneven finish. So I'm going to stick it up top of that jar where I know it's flat and it's going to dry. I'm going to let it dry 24 hours and it is going to be good to go. All right. So really quick before I show you the really cool pocket handbook, or actually it's called playbook. Do we have any questions on any of the sealers that are solvent based? So we have the glossy varnish, the one that gives it that antique look. We have clear varnish in matte, and then we have the clear varnish in glossy. So these are going to be your three go-tos for fine line, paint and lace. You can use them for other things too, but those are given. They should always go hand in hand. Oh, and just to let you know, once this dries, we're still going to be able to see the cracks. It's just putting another layer on top of, I see a little hole. I want you to get it real quick just in case. Because if you try to do that after it's dry, you're going to see the different layers. I just caught it in the light. I want to make sure I get it all. There we go. All right. Now, something very helpful that we are doing for you. Us at Pentart USA are working hard to get this to you. We've got some finished, and we are still working on some. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let me pull my screen up. In the meantime, real quick, while I'm pulling this up, does anybody have any questions? I see very cool. I cannot see YouTube comments for some reason. I don't know why. Let me see. I don't know what's... I don't know. So, I can't see the YouTube comments, but I can see Facebook comments. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, no. My glasses. My eyes. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this without my eyeballs. I must have left them over there on the counter. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to start broadcast. And I'm going to pull it up as soon as it comes up. Should be coming up. Oh, that's why. Hold on. I have to give it permission. I forget that sometimes. All right, so let me pull this up. I want to go back because I don't want to take you to that page. I want to take you here. All right. So when you go to, all right, why is it going to go this way? There we go. So when you go to the Pentart USA website, what you're going to do, let me see if I can get it to go sideways. It's not going to go sideways. So we're going to have to go like this. Sorry. You're going to see the weather delay notice, and then you're going to see a little YouTube video, and you're going to see some products. What you This is just the view that you're going to see on your phone. You're going to see this also on your computer. But if you go up to in the top left-hand corner, there's some three little lines, or top left-hand corner, and click it. Let me get this off. This is distracting. There we go. And we click that and we get a drop-down menu. In this drop-down menu, if you go down to the second grouping at the bottom, it says Pentart Playbook. This is also, if you're on your computer, it's going to be at the top, right across the menu bar. But on here, it's on the drop-down menu because it's a phone and it's condensed. If you click on the Pentart Playbook and click Pentart Playbook, one more time, the drop-down menu. I don't know why it does that. We'll have to fix that. What it says is welcome to the Pentart Playbook. And then what happens is the products are kind of broken down into prep, decoupage, varnishing glue, sealers, crackles, etc. And this is, like I said, a work in progress. It's a lot to get it all linked and hooked. Let me show you what it is. So let's go to what we're working on. We're going to look at the Antique Glossy. So if I go over here and click on the Antique Glossy, you're going to be redirected to a blog that says how to use the glossy varnish by Pentart. And then you're going to have options. You can download the playbook page and then it tells you what it is, Antique Glossy Varnish. You can purchase the Antique Glossy Varnish here. So if you watch the video, you download the playbook and you decide, yes, I need it, you can click there and get it. There's going to be a short video. I believe this video, does it tell us? All these little videos are between 2 and 5 minutes long. The longest one is the Fine Line Crackle, and it is about, hi Patricia, that one is about probably 15 minutes because it's so in depth. It's a good one. Then a short, what it is, how to use it. But let me just show you why this is such a good resource. If you go to, you can download the playbook page for Antique Glossy Varnish. When I click that, watch this. You're redirected to a page that talks about product description, when to use, how to use, and pro tips. The best part is you can print this out and stick it in a folder. So you can create your own Pentart playbook with every product that we use. Hey, Luann, welcome. Every product for Pentart. Now, are all the products on there? Not yet. I'm working on it though. I have a lot of the videos done. I just have to link them and I have to put the new products in. But they will all be done and they will all be here. So this, you definitely want to bookmark. Let me show you again where it's at. If you go to pentartusa.com, on your phone, there's going to be the three little lines at the top, looks like a hamburger. You can click that, and then you're going to drop all the way down to the second quarter, the last one. It says Pentart Playbook, and you click it again, Pentart Playbook one more time, and it takes you right to the playbook. So pretty soon, this will all be live. So let's just see. Let's go to the decoupage, varnish, and glue glitter. So if I click that, you'll be redirected to the glitter, decoupage, varnish, and glue. And there is the playbook page that you can print. There's a video if you want to. It'll redirect you right back to Pentart page, and you can buy the glue, the glitter, varnish, and glue there. And a short 3-minute video just to learn about it. And then you can also read about it here. Depends on where or how you want to have all this knowledge at your fingertips, right? So that is just an exciting feature that is coming. It's in progress. We are working on it diligently. It's time consuming. So we're going to do a little bit at a time, but just keep checking back on any of the products that you want. They will be there eventually. Okay, Tina, here we go. Where does the Pentart USA product ship from? They originate overseas in England. They come across and then they go straight to New York. And New York is pretty cold. So depending on the temperature is when they're going to ship them or not. Because if you get a product and it has froze along the way, the product is ruined. So to save you frustration, them frustration, loss of money, they'll ship it when the temperatures are right. And sometimes it's not based on their temperature. It might be based on your temperature. So there's a lot of considerations during this time of year, but during, summer months, it's not that bad. All right. Any other questions for Pentart? Pentart Q&A. Anything? This is your time. All right. So raise your hand. Show me an emoji, a heart, a hand, anything. Show me an emoji if you think you're going to be using that Pentart playbook. If I were you, the next time you go to Walmart or Target, or you might even have one in your desk drawer, an empty folder, that you can start printing those pages, stick them in your book, and have a Pentart playbook reference. So you can go to anything. Sometimes I still refer to it. As I'm creating them, I'll refer to it. I'm like, no, does this one do? Because there are so many different Pentart products. And sometimes the product does more than one thing. So it's a nice tool, a resource to have. All right, well, I'm not going to keep y'all if there's nothing else, no other questions. I'll be back again next week with Live in the Studio. And it might be pouring glaze, I think. Pouring glaze, and there's another one that I have to cover. Oh, and soft touch varnish. That's a cool one. I'm not sure which one's next week, but just those are the two that are coming. All right, you guys have a fabulous day and happy